Good morning. So I have another take on a story by Paulo Coelho. I love him. I always quote his stories. They're great. If you didn't read The Alchemist, great book that he wrote. Everybody should read that book. But in any case, a older man philosopher is wandering through town, and he gets to the outskirts, and he comes across this dilapidated farm, and he wonders if anybody's inside. So he goes and knocks on the door, and a man answers with his wife and his three kids, and they're all dressed kind of in rags and looks really run down. And he says, sir, I wasn't sure if this farm was, a working farm. He said, oh, yeah, yeah, we've been here for years. I have a cow. It makes milk. We're able to make our own cheese and yogurt and feed ourselves. And the excess I take into town and I sell, and we're able to survive. And the philosopher looks at him. He says, He goes, well, thank you for sharing that. And he leaves. And when the family goes back inside, he takes the cow and he leads it to the edge of a cliff and he pushes it over. And he disappears. About 2 or 3 years later, the same philosopher is walking through town, decides to take a walk to the outskirts, and he goes back to that place where that farm was. And now it's this magnificent farm with tons of vegetation and just it's blossoming. The barn itself is huge, the house is huge. And as he's walking by, he starts to go to the front door, and somebody comes up and says, "Can I help you?" And he says, "Are you the owner?" He says, "No, I'm just here to help. I'm kind of the butler. I greet everybody and make sure that everybody's taken care of. What can I do for you?" And he said, "Well, I was looking for the original owner of the farm." He says, "Oh, the original owner's still here." He said, "Really?" He said, "Sure." He goes, "Come on in." And he opens the door, and sure enough, the original owner's there. And he says, "Oh my, how are you?" And the philosopher looks at him and he says, "Well, I see things worked out for you." And the man says, "Yes." He goes, "The best thing that ever happened was my poor cow got out of the pen and it fell off the cliff and died. So I had no choice. So I had to plant some other things. And we ended up planting vegetables. And I had a great, great season. And all of a sudden the vegetables bloomed. And I was able to sell a lot more. And then as I was doing that, I was realizing I need to get more clothes for my kids. Maybe if I could just make cotton, I can make my own clothes." So I started, growing cotton. And before I know it, everybody was coming to me and asking me if we can grow this and grow that. And now I have this thriving farm. And if I didn't get rid of that cow, and if that cow didn't die, I never would have had this farm. So the philosopher looks at me and says, "Well, that's a great story. So, what's holding you back, right? What are you so comfortable with that you're constantly doing the same thing and being okay with it when you know you're destined to do more, right? I mean, how many of us have a job that we like, but we don't love it, and we have more. We know we have more to do, but we just never do more because we got those golden handcuffs, right? Or if you're a teenager, right? Taking those classes and taking the easy way out, right? Knowing you're really bright and you have the ability to work a little harder. Why wouldn't you work a little harder? I know it's comfortable to take those regular classes and stick to them, but what if you're destined to be in honors classes or AP classes, right? And advance your education and go to a better school to give you a better future? Why wouldn't you do that, right? What if you're a teen who thinks that you've reached your limit with regard to anything, whether you're somebody who's into sports or drama or singing, right? What makes you think that you reach your limit? You can always practice, you can always do better, but if you get comfortable where you are and you don't want to move past that because it just feels good, you don't know what you're missing out on, right? Sometimes you have to lose something to realize what there is to gain. Look at this pandemic, right? I know as adults, a lot of us have had to pivot and it's benefited us tremendously, right? Some of us have really struggled. But even as teens, yeah, it stinks. We have to be on Zoom and we don't get to go to school, or in many cases, right? Some of us are half day, half a week school, half a week in person. But regardless, this is not normal, right? But I've spoken to so many teens, and there's so many lessons they've learned from this as far as how they are, how they're being, right? They're the way they treat others, what they miss, right? Just how much they cherish their friendships, right? Like sometimes things have to happen for us to realize what we're missing out on. And it's the same thing with opportunities, right? Just like the farmer, he was so used to this cow that he never thought past it. But once the cow was gone and he had to think outside the box, he was able to do so and have tremendous success. So whether you're an adult or a teen, right? Once you step outside your comfort zone, that's where everything happens, right? That's where all the growth happens. There's no growth inside the comfort zone. That's why it's called the comfort zone. You'll do fine, but are you okay with fine? Or do you want to do great? Do you want to do more? And you have to step outside your comfort zone to do that. So, whatever your cow is, right? Throw it off the cliff figure out how you can grow more, because there's more out there for you to do, and everybody in here has more to give and more to offer. And sometimes we just never get there because we're too afraid of getting rid of what's keeping us comfortable. So, hope this resonates. Have a great day.